So we are learning third semester content and pedagogy of social science. So unit 2, that is instructional resources in social science, we are learning. So far we have completed unit 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 and 2.4. I assume that there are no doubts. Hope you are referring the shared resource material. Today we are going to cover 2.5, that is audio visual resources, their meaning and importance in teaching learning process. Directly let's move on with the audio visual resources. So what do you feel are the audio visual resources? How are they important to teach social science subject? So audio visual aids are instructional devices which are used to communicate messages more effectively through sound and visuals. They are a combination of sound and visuals. So they are sensitive tools used in teaching that facilitates learning. They are multi-sensory materials which motivate, clarify, and stimulate individuals towards learning. They are combination of two media, that is auditory and visual aids. Examples to give: film strips, tape record, microphone, earphone, projector. So, a lot more examples can be taken for audiovisual. As we move ahead, we will come across many more examples. Whenever we have to write the meaning, if we write the definitions, would be better. I have listed out here two definitions. The first definition, that is audiovisual aids are those which help in completing the triangular process of learning, that is motivation, classification and stimulation. This definition is given by Carter V. Good. So one more definition I would like to refer here. According to Good's Dictionary of Education, that is audiovisual aids are anything by means of which learning process may be encouraged or carried on through the sense of hearing or sense of sights. That's why we call them audio visual. Both our eyes and ears work together over here. So let's have a look at classification of audio visual aids. Okay, we have three classifications here based on senses. Based on senses, we have sub classification, that is audio, video and audio visual. Then we have based on technology, we have hardware and software. Then based on projection, we have, that is projected and non-projected. Among these few we are going to explore in detail. What are audio aids? They are like we listen, so our ear works. Like example to give: radio, tape recorder, gramophone. Visual examples if we have to give, so we have charts, graphs, maps, bulletin boards, we have slides, we have a blackboard. So they all come under visual aids. Then in visual resources, we have two types, that is non-projected resources and projected resources. Non-projected resources, they are still, they won't move. Like we have a map, charts, posters, booklet, graphs. Where projected resources have a movement but no sound, like a slides. Where I am using a slides, there is no sound. Then we have a overhead projector in our classroom, microfilm projector. These are the example for projected resources. Then audio visual, both where we get in the films, videos. So the use of this type of aids help to activate both eyes and ears together. A child watches by his eyes and hears by his ears in order to learn the teaching points. Example: television, film, computer assisted aids. Then coming to the next, purpose. What is the purpose of using audio visual resources in the classroom? First one is reaching specific learners. How do we reach the specific learners? Because we have a diverse classroom with a different background, different learning style of a learners. Bodily kinesthetic learners we have, musical, interpersonal, intrapersonal, linguistic, logical. So different learning styles we come across. While some students may learn more effectively through hands-on activity, others may learn through musical or visual responses. The importance of audiovisual aids can be seen when classroom audiovisual tools allow musical learners to learn information in a way that stimulates their preferred learning style. So second one is spicing up the curriculum. Spicing up the curriculum means experienced teachers have observed firsthand the importance of audiovisual aids in keeping students focused on the lesson. So you know that attention span is not more than 20 or 25 minutes. So audiovisual aids in the classroom add diversity to an instructors, that is teachers, whether you teach a group of preschoolers or college students. So incorporating audiovisual aids into your lessons help you keep students attention. On the contrary, too much of one type of teaching method also makes them boring. So we have to divert our resources. It shouldn't be of one type of resources. Then third one is promoting clear communication. By using audiovisual tools in the classroom, teachers show students how to communicate through various media. Students are introduced to the concept of conveying information creatively, so where they interact with our materials. Then fourth one is engaging auditory learners. According to Howard Gardner's theory, so you might have come across this, of multiple intelligence, students learn in various a variety of different ways, including through listening or auditory inputs. Some students are better auditory learners than others and may see more academic improvement when audio aids are used in the classroom. This effect definitely we come across when we teach using different audiovisual resources. Then novelty gets noticed. You might have experienced when you use a different resources, you can see the curiosity of the learners. Student might get bored with more traditional method without using any teaching aid. But when we use audio aids or visual aids, they make more effective. So they notice, they be attentive, they involve, they learn. And this is the best motivator. When we use audio visual aids, they are the best motivators. The student work with more interest and zeal. So they are more attentive in the class. The next one is antidote to the disease of verbal instructions. So if you just keep talking one way yourself without using any aids and with using some resources in teaching, you find the difference. So they help to reduce verbalism. That's just giving a lecture or one way of delivering the instruction. So they help to give clear concepts and thus help to bring accuracy in learning and clarity in the concept. So along with these, we have various other importance. When we talk about history, we can show them some historical movies or Discovery Channel or history. We can make more involvement of a student. Then freedom of learning, helpful in fixing up new learning, so helpful in attracting attention. Some of uses are there when we talk about the importance of audio visuals in teaching social science. So, what are the principles of effective use of audiovisual aid? What we have to keep in mind when we have to select the audiovisual aid? First principle is principle of selection. It should be relevant to our topic, our content, our concept. Principle of preparation. We have to be prepared in advance. It shouldn't happen that on the time or in the class we start preparing it. Then principle of physical control. We should have a control over the materials we are using. Then principle of response, whatever material we are using, we should get the response from the students, that is positive response. Then principle of evaluation, they should help us to evaluate our teaching, that is the reflection, that whether we are able to reach out to our learners, whether I could fulfill my objectives. So we have to keep these principles in mind when we select the audio visuals. So what factors influence selecting the audio visual resources? The objective of the or the purpose of the content or the subject, the nature of the subject, whether I'm teaching history or geography or political science or economics, relevant audiovisual resources we have to select, and the nature of audience, what kind of audience do we have, what is the status of their learning, understanding. and the number of audience we have, whether it's a large classroom or whether it's a small classroom, and the age and the education level, that is what age the learners are, in which grade they are, then interest and experience of the learner, knowledge of the subject, then obviously cost of the resources we are using, and knowledge of resources that we should have, how to use those resources effectively. Then coming to the next, what are the problems in using audiovisual resources? Apathy of the teacher. Some teacher they don't want to adapt to this change. Then indifference of students. We don't have a same type of students or same type of learning style. So if I choose audio, some may not like it, some may like only video, some may like only the pictures. So ineffectiveness of aids irrelevant when we choose a film. Like a good lesson has various preparation, presentation. For example, when we talk about Jallianwala Bagh massacre, so what kind of video we are going to choose? When we talk about in ninth standard history, Nazism, so what kind of video? Because it has a lot of impact on the learner. So it should be a relevant, it should be a proper, applicable, and it shouldn't hurt anybody's sentiments. Then obviously financial hurdles, cost of that audio visual resource we are going to use. Then problem of electricity or power. We may not have all the problem in one side, but one or the other problem definitely we face when we use audio visual resources. So in remote areas, in certain areas, power cut off often affect to the use of audiovisual aids. Then lack of or training. Yes, there are many teachers who are not skilled enough to use. Then lack of coordination. Then language problem. Most of the education films available are in English. So if they are in Hindi medium or any regional languages, so that would be difficult to translate. Then not catering to the local needs and not in accordance with the social and psychological and pedagogical factors. So these are the some problems we encounter when we select or use audiovisual resources in our class. So this is all about audiovisual aid, but coming to exam point of view, one in detail you may get to explain. For example, it can be of a film. You have to explain how films are can be used in teaching. So any of the resources, so you may get a question to write in detail. For example, films. So what kind of films do you incorporate in teaching? So, or it might be documentaries, or you may get like maps. What is the effective use of maps? The purpose of using maps in social science. So just anyone, whenever you get a question like that, you have to explain like what are maps, what are the advantages, in what content we can incorporate map into, then what can be the disadvantages as well we can list, then conclusion. So map, different type of maps are there. Like we when we teach about political aspects of the content, so political map we use where they have a state borders or the country borders or the district. When we are talking about particular state and its administrative divisions, we have to use a political map. And when we talk about geographical aspects of it, so we use a physical map where they highlight the different landforms. So we have a different maps. When we talk about climate, we have a different maps where they display about isobars, where we have different climatic zones displaying that we have a world map. So relevant, what topic we are choosing, that kind of map we use. In geography, we use political as well as physical map, or different features like forest, different type of forests are there. Population distribution, when we talk about, we use a different map. So we should be aware of, and what are the advantages of using the map. So same advantages what I have listed out here in the previous slide, like purpose, importance, so that you have to apply to particularly map. So when we talk about the rivers, so land and water form relief feature, direction. So we have a latitudes and longitudes. When we learn about the map can be used, how we can use a models. What are models? Models are three-dimensional visual aids, 3D. So they represent real things in all respects. For example, when I teach about water resources, so we give a model making activity, or we use a model like rainwater harvesting, it might be, or construction of dams, how dams help to conserve the water, or it might be rooftop rainwater harvesting. Use a model to teach different concepts. Large objectives are reduced to smaller size so they could be observed by the students with a greater precision. So models may be simple or working. So models of historical architecture or sculpture, then solar system, yes, obviously you might have used windmills. So many more example. Even clay models can be used. Nowadays they deny using of thermocol. So instead of that, we can use environment friendly materials to make the models. Wood can be used, bamboo can be used, even plaster of Paris can be used. Then working with the models can enhance thinking abilities. Then we discussed about multimedia yesterday. So let me list out some of the questions I came across as of now. So remaining, you just keep checking the YouTube as I have shared yesterday. Upload the question paper. So as of now, you related to this unit 2, I have listed out some of the questions, around 21 questions I have listed out. You can just have a look at. All are easy and attainable. If any question you want to get a clarification, you can ask me. So first question, what are the characteristics of good social science textbook? Critically examine the ninth standard social science textbooks. What are the suggestions to improve it? So for this, you should have a knowledge of textbook social science, whether it is grade 9, 8 or 10, at least one or two textbook you can go through. Or if you don't know, generally also you can answer. It's a text show, that is physical appearance, its quality and quantity. We talk about age appropriateness. In our second class, we have discussed about all the characteristics of the textbooks. Then, what is the importance of social science textbook? How should you use the textbook in a classroom? Give the critical analysis of a social science textbook. What is the importance of newspaper in teaching social science? How do you make use of newspaper in teaching social science? So pattern is the same, that is introduction, meaning if at all applicable, then advantages or disadvantages, how we can use, in what way you have to apply, taking particular chapter or the content into account. So how you make use of these resources, then conclude. Next question is, state various types of library resources. Explain library as a resource for studying social science. What are community resources? State its importance. State various community resources for teaching and learning of social science. What are the advantages of community resources in teaching social science? What are the basic features of map? Why are pictures used? What are the different types of pictures used for teaching history? What are the quality of a good model? What is multimedia? What are the uses of multimedia in the teaching social science? What are the steps to be followed in multimedia approach while teaching social science? Just yesterday we had a discussion about this. What is internet? Explain the use of internet in teaching social science. Illustrate with example, that also we discussed yesterday. What is website? What is the role of website in learning social science? What is computer assisted instruction? How is it useful for social science teacher in teaching the subject? So what is PowerPoint presentation? How is PowerPoint presentation useful in teaching social science? You can see that how they have used different resources and they asked how it is applied in the subject. So what are visual resources? Then what are the different visual aids which can be used for teaching social science? See, there are three alternative words they use here: resources, aids, and materials. But all they mean the same. What are the uses of audiovisual aids in teaching of history and civics? So have a look at this question. This question I found it is quite unique than the other question. A film like Attenborough's Gandhi or Sham Benegal's TV series on the discovery of India leaves an indelible impression on the minds of history students? Substantiate. Just tell me how to write when we don't know about it. I hope many of you might have not been aware of what these films are about, but you can catch the idea. Suppose this kind of question comes in the exam, how do you attempt that? How to write? Suppose this is a application based question, or you can say high order thinking, or you may get not only this, you may get any kind of such. So how to answer such kind of question? Suppose you don't know what you will write here. Gandhi is used there. This is about Discovery Channel or Discovery of India. Gandhiji related video or movies, what they have brought, I would like to show here. Have a look at it.
मोहनदास के गांधी, अटॉर्नी एट लॉ। हमारे साथ उन्हें जो करना है करें, मगर हम वार नहीं करेंगे। वो कैद में डालेंगे, वो जुर्माना करेंगे, वो हमारा सामान जब्त करेंगे, पर किसी की इच्छा के विरुद्ध उसका आत्मसम्मान हरगिज नहीं छीन सकेंगे वो लोग। हम लोग लेट जाए, हम खुशी से वार सहें और दिखा दें कि हम पलट कर नहीं मारेंगे।
एक अकेला आदमी धूल भरे रास्तों पर ईमानदारी और बांस की लाठी का
What do you feel? What impact such kind of videos make on our students?
Ma'am, we can see the personality's role in the freedom movement because only in theoretical base, if we saw them, it won't be remember for a longer time. So through the picture or the movies, we can remember for a longer duration.
Yes, correct.
Because and also the emotional feelings
Yes,
of the freedom fighters, aggressiveness.
yes, make a lot of impact on. They get inspired. They remember it. See, similar thing if I just orally tell the students, there won't be that kind of connectivity. So that is how we can make our subject more interesting. So now coming to this question, it's a film Gandhi by Richard Attenborough has left an indelible impression on the minds of the history students. So, what is the role of television in reaching out the content of history to our students that you can write in this answer? So, what are audiovisual resources? Explain its purpose. So, these are the few questions I have listed out. That's all about Unit 2. So, let me know if you have anything or want to know anything.